Welcome, everybody, to 101 ridiculous U.S. laws that will make you question reality. Let's dive right in.
Let's begin in Alabama.
Number 1. In Anniston, Alabama, strolling down Noble Street in blue jeans isn't just frowned upon, it's actually illegal. Whether the law was meant to preserve a classy image or simply discourage casual attire in the area, it's still on the books. If you're heading to Noble Street, you might want to dig out your slacks or a nice skirt to avoid an awkward encounter with local authorities. Better safe than cited, especially if denim is your go-to outfit. Number 2. Wrestling a bear may sound like a wild adrenaline rush, but Alabama has firmly said no to such antics. This law likely stems from a time when animal cruelty laws weren't as widespread, and staged bear wrestling events were disturbingly common. Today, Alabama protects both its citizens and bears by keeping the sport in the realm of imagination rather than reality. So if you encounter a bear, keep your distance and save the wrestling moves for the gym. Number 3. Think twice before reaching for your Dominoes on a Sunday in Alabama, because playing the game is illegal. While the origins of this odd law are murky, it may have been designed to enforce the Sabbath as a day of rest and worship. Whatever the reason, if you're in Alabama and it's Sunday, you're better off trading Dominoes for a good book or perhaps attending a church service to stay on the right side of the law. Number 4. Alabama doesn't take driving safety lightly, and this law proves it. Driving blindfolded is illegal. While it might seem like common sense, apparently, it was necessary to put this rule into writing. Perhaps someone once tried to prove their skills as a stunt driver and inspired this legislation. Either way, Alabama is serious about keeping its roads safe, so make sure your eyes are wide open and focused on the road, not covered up. Number 5. Church services in Alabama are no place for pranks, and wearing a fake mustache that causes laughter during worship is strictly prohibited. This quirky law highlights the importance of respecting sacred spaces and ensuring services are taken seriously. If you're attending church, save the disguises for costume parties or Halloween. After all, nobody wants their prayers interrupted by a case of uncontrollable giggles caused by an oversized mustache on a fellow worshiper. Number 6. Driving the wrong way down a one-way street might seem reckless, but Alabama has one odd exception. If you attach a lantern to the front of your car, you can legally defy the usual traffic flow. Perhaps this rule harks back to horse and buggy days when lanterns signaled your presence. Today, it's more of a historical curiosity than practical advice. Modern drivers should stick to obeying traffic signs and leave the lantern trick in the past. Number 7. In Montgomery, Alabama, opening an umbrella on the street might earn you more than a few strange looks. It's actually illegal. The law reportedly dates back to concerns about spooking horses in the days when they ruled the roads. Although cars have long since replaced horse-drawn carriages, the law remains. So if the skies open up, find shelter or wait until you're indoors to pop that umbrella. Horses may be gone, but the rule isn't. Number 8. Alabama takes fire safety seriously, even for reptiles. It's illegal to chain your alligator to a fire hydrant, possibly to prevent them from blocking access during emergencies. While most people don't keep alligators as pets, this law reminds residents to consider public safety when handling exotic animals. If you're walking your gator, find a better spot to secure it, preferably somewhere far away from anything firefighters might need to access quickly. Number 9. Driving barefoot in Alabama isn't just uncomfortable, it's illegal. While many states allow shoeless driving, Alabama takes a stricter approach, likely to promote better control of the vehicle. Shoes provide traction, and this law ensures drivers are prepared to react swiftly in emergencies. So before hopping into your car after a beach trip or a swim, make sure you've got some footwear handy. It's a small price to pay for safety and legality. Number 10. That ice cream cone in your back pocket might seem harmless, but not in Alabama. It's illegal. This strange law supposedly originated as a clever way to prevent horse theft. Thieves would lure horses away with treats hidden in pockets, making the crime harder to trace. Today, it's more of a humorous relic than an enforceable law, but it's still worth noting. So next time you're craving ice cream, keep it in your hand, not your pants. Now let's move north to Alaska. Number 11. Hunting bears in Alaska is legal, but snapping a photo with one after waking it up? That's strictly forbidden. This law likely exists to protect both humans and bears from dangerous encounters. Imagine poking a sleeping bear just for the gram. Probably not the safest idea. Alaska prefers its bears well rested and undisturbed. So if you want a photo, stick to zoom lenses or nature documentaries. Trust us, poking the bear isn't worth the risk or the fine. Number 12. Whispering sweet nothings might be romantic, but not when someone's moose hunting in Alaska. It's illegal to whisper in someone's ear while they're on the hunt, likely to ensure focus and avoid startling the animal or the hunter. Moose hunting is serious business, and distractions can lead to dangerous situations. So if you're in the woods with a hunter, keep your voice down or save the secrets for after the moose is secured. Number 13. Pushing a live moose out of a moving airplane is illegal, and for good reason. While it sounds too bizarre to be real, this law may have been created to curb reckless behavior during animal transportation. Moose are massive and unpredictable creatures, so tossing one mid-flight is not just dangerous, but absurd. If you need to move a moose, keep it grounded and safely secured. Airborne moose are best left to cartoons, not reality. Number 14. Kangaroos may be adorable, but in Alaska, they're not allowed in barbershops. While the state isn't exactly known for its kangaroo population, this law likely addresses exotic pet ownership. Perhaps someone once brought their hopping companion in for a trim, leading to chaos among clippers and fur. Regardless, leave your kangaroo at home and let the barbers focus on human haircuts instead of dodging bouncing marsupials. Number 15. In Alaska, you can admire moose from afar, but don't even think about viewing them from an airplane. This law might have roots in protecting wildlife from aerial hunting, a practice that was once a major concern. Observing animals should be done with respect and distance, so keep your binoculars handy and your feet on the ground. Besides, moose are best appreciated in their natural habitat, not from a bird's eye view. Turning up the temperature, we move south to Arizona. Number 16. Donkeys may be stubborn, but in Arizona, they're also banned from sleeping in bathtubs. This quirky law reportedly stems from an incident where a donkey dozed off in a tub during a flood and had to be rescued at great expense. To prevent a repeat of such chaos, Arizona made it official. Bathtubs are for humans, not donkeys. If you have a pet donkey, make sure it sticks to barns, pastures, or cozy hay beds instead. Number 17. Driving in reverse might seem harmless, but in Glendale, Arizona, it's against the law. Whether this was meant to curb reckless driving or prevent unnecessary traffic jams, one thing's for sure: stick to moving forward. So if you're tempted to back up just a little farther in a parking lot, think twice. It's safer and legal to do a proper turnaround instead. No one wants a ticket for backing up too boldly. Number 18. Hunting camels in Arizona is completely off limits. This unusual law likely dates back to the 1800s, when camels were imported as part of the U.S. Army's Experimental Camel Corps. Though the project didn't last, some camels roamed free and became local legends. To protect these creatures, Arizona passed this law, making it illegal to hunt them. Today, camels are rare in the state, but the law still stands as a quirky reminder of history. Number 19. Smiles are encouraged in Arizona, but adults over 18 must show at least one missing tooth or risk breaking the law. This odd regulation was likely aimed at encouraging better dental hygiene or discouraging fraud in early times. While the rule isn't strictly enforced today, it's a humorous reminder to care for your pearly whites. So flash that smile, missing teeth or not, and stay on the right side of Arizona law. Number 20. Refusing someone a glass of water in Arizona isn't just rude, it's illegal. Given the state's scorching temperatures and arid climate, this law ensures basic human decency by preventing dehydration. Whether you're a restaurant owner or a homeowner, you're legally required to offer water if someone asks. So the next time a parched traveler comes knocking, be prepared to pour them a drink, or risk more than just their gratitude. Number 21. In Mojave County, stealing soap comes with an unusual punishment. You must use the stolen bar until it's completely gone. This law seems like a creative way to ensure offenders truly learn their lesson. Imagine scrubbing away guilt and grime, one bubble at a time until the evidence literally disappears. While it might not be the harshest penalty, it's definitely one of the cleanest, leaving wrongdoers spotless and hopefully wiser. Let's venture east to Arkansas. Number 22. Teachers in Arkansas may be role models, but those who bob their hair risk losing more than style. They could lose their raises. This outdated law may have been an attempt to enforce conservative appearances, especially for women. While haircuts are now a matter of personal choice, the rule serves as a humorous glimpse into how appearances once influenced employment policies. Teachers today can sport any hairstyle they like. Thankfully, paychecks no longer depend on hair length. Number 23. Keeping alligators in bathtubs is illegal in Arkansas, possibly because no one wants a reptile lurking in the bathroom. This law highlights the state's concern for both safety and plumbing. Alligators are unpredictable and strong, and a bathtub is no place for a scaly predator. So if you've got a pet gator, it belongs in a secure habitat, not the tub. Bath time is for bubbles and rubber ducks, not snapping jaws. Number 24. When it comes to pronunciation, Arkansas takes its name very seriously. The state must be pronounced Arkansas, not Arkansas. This law likely protects the state's French-influenced heritage and prevents linguistic disputes. Mispronounce it, and you might face a stern correction, or at least some disapproving looks from proud locals. So remember, it's Arkansas, not Arkansas, unless you're itching for a geography lesson mid-conversation. Number 25. Forget mood lighting in Arkansas. Buying or selling blue light bulbs is against the law. Whether this rule originated as a way to prevent confusion with emergency lights or discourage odd decor trends is unclear. Either way, you'll need to stick with standard lighting options. If you're dreaming of a blue-lit room, consider LED strips instead. They're legal and just as vibrant, without the risk of breaking the law. Back west we go now to California. Number 26. In Baldwin Park, California, riding a bicycle in a swimming pool isn't just odd, it's illegal. While it's hard to imagine how this law came about, it likely arose from concerns about pool safety and equipment damage. Whether it was inspired by a daredevil cyclist or an ill-advised pool party stunt, one thing's clear: keep your bikes on dry land. If you're looking for water-friendly fun, stick to pool floats and leave the wheels at home. Number 27. In Blythe, California, cowboy boots are more than just a fashion statement. They're a responsibility. It's illegal to wear them unless you own at least 2 cows. This law might have been designed to preserve the authenticity of cowboy culture, ensuring only true ranchers sport the look. So if you're planning to don boots and a hat, you'd better back it up with livestock, or risk being all hat and no cattle. Number 28. Burlingame, California, takes cleanliness and decorum seriously. Spitting is illegal unless it's done on a baseball diamond, perhaps to preserve tradition during games. Meanwhile, in Carmel, it was once illegal to eat ice cream while standing on the sidewalk, until Clint Eastwood repealed the law as mayor. Women also couldn't wear high heels within city limits without a permit, allegedly to prevent lawsuits over uneven sidewalks. Thankfully, today's laws are less strict, but the quirks remain unforgettable. Number 29. California's love for fun doesn't stop kids from jumping over puddles. This law ensures it's protected. Community leaders once banned any attempts to stop children from splashing through puddles, recognizing the importance of play. Whether you see it as promoting carefree joy or just protecting youthful exuberance, this rule encourages everyone to embrace life's little messes. So grab your rain boots and jump away. California's got your back. Number 30. In Hollywood, California, managing traffic takes creativity. It's illegal to drive more than 2,000 sheep down Hollywood Boulevard at once. This law likely originated during the city's early days when livestock herding was more common. While modern Hollywood is better known for celebrities than sheep, the rule remains a hilarious reminder of its rural past. So if you're moving a flock, keep the numbers down, or prepare for a ticket worthy of the red carpet. Number 31. Caller ID might seem like an everyday convenience, but in California, it was once illegal to have it. Designed to protect privacy, this law limited tracking who was calling. As technology advanced and privacy concerns shifted, the law became outdated. Today, Caller ID is the norm. But this rule serves as a humorous relic of the state's early attempts to balance innovation and personal freedom. Number 32. In California's state offices, phones can't ring more than 9 times anymore, and you're breaking the law. This quirky regulation was likely meant to maintain professionalism and prevent disruptions. Whether it's a holdover from rotary phone days or just an effort to keep tempers calm, the rule adds a touch of humor to office culture. So if you're calling state officials, pick up quickly or risk being cut off by bureaucracy. Number 33. Tears may flow freely in dramatic court cases, but crying on the witness stand is technically illegal in California. This law may have been introduced to prevent emotional outbursts from influencing jurors. While judges often use discretion, it's still a reminder that courts value composure over theatrics. So if you're taking the stand, bring your facts, not your tissues, and save the drama for after the verdict. Number 34. In Lodi, California, silly string is no laughing matter. It's illegal to own or sell it. The ban may have been aimed at keeping public spaces clean, especially during festivals. While other cities embrace the fun, Lodi decided to draw the line. If you're looking to celebrate, stick to confetti or balloons and leave the string at home, or face fines for what might be the silliest crime ever. Number 35. Thinking of setting a mousetrap in California? Make sure you've got a hunting license first. This law likely arose from older hunting regulations, but now seems hilariously outdated. While most people view mousetraps as household necessities, the state apparently sees them as mini hunting devices. So if you're battling rodents, double-check the rules, or prepare to face penalties for being an unlicensed pest hunter. Number 36. California's fashion laws once extended to the car too. Women were banned from driving while wearing housecoats. Whether it was an attempt to uphold appearances or prevent distraction, this rule no longer applies. Still, it paints a funny picture of a state once concerned about road trip attire. Today you can drive in pajamas if you want, but maybe leave the fuzzy slippers at home for safety. Back east, we now head over to Colorado. Number 37. In Colorado, car dealerships must close on Sundays, thanks to blue laws that limit business operations. Originally rooted in religious traditions, these rules were designed to encourage rest and worship. While most retailers are open 7 days a week now, car dealerships still take Sundays off. So if you're shopping for a new ride, plan ahead. Sundays are strictly for window shopping in Colorado. Number 38. Cripple Creek, Colorado may have been a mining town, but bringing your horse or mule above the first floor of any building is illegal. This rule likely stems from safety concerns, as livestock and staircases don't mix well. While it's hard to imagine anyone attempting this today, the law stands as a hilarious reminder of the town's frontier days, when mules played a major role in daily life. Number 39. Denver takes dog catching seriously, requiring officials to post a notice for 3 consecutive days before impounding a dog. The notice must be displayed on trees and roads in city parks, perhaps to give dogs fair warning. It's also illegal to mistreat rats, lend your neighbor a vacuum cleaner, or drive a black car on Sundays. While the laws seem outdated, they highlight Denver's commitment to order, no matter how odd the rules may sound. Number 40. Removing do not remove tags from furniture may have once been forbidden, but Colorado now says it's perfectly legal. These tags were originally intended for manufacturers, not consumers, but their ominous warnings left many people nervous. Thanks to modern updates, you can finally snip off those tags without fear of breaking the law. Just don't go cutting corners when it comes to safety labels elsewhere. Number 41. Denver takes rodent rights seriously. It's illegal to mistreat rats. Whether this law was meant to protect lab animals or discourage cruelty, it leaves people scratching their heads. While rats aren't the most beloved creatures, Colorado's law ensures they're treated humanely. If you encounter a rat, maybe offer it a snack instead of setting a trap. You'll be following the law and possibly making a new furry friend. Number 42. Colorado also gives you permission to remove those pesky do not remove tags from mattresses. While the tags once scared buyers into compliance, today's laws allow freedom from fear. It's a small victory for consumers who can finally reclaim their furniture without second guessing. Just remember, laws change, but humor over old rules sticks around forever. Heading further east now, we head on over to Connecticut. Number 45. In Atwoodville, Connecticut, playing Scrabble while waiting for a politician to speak isn't just frowned upon, it's illegal. Perhaps lawmakers feared that triple word scores would distract from political discourse or that debates might devolve into impromptu word battles. Either way, leave your tiles at home when attending speeches. Focus on the politician's words instead. You can save your vocabulary skills for family game night, where the stakes are lower and the rules make more sense. Number 46. A pickle isn't officially a pickle in Connecticut unless it bounces. This quirky law reportedly originated after con men tried to sell cucumbers as pickles. Officials devised the bounce test to distinguish the real deal from imposters. While modern inspections rely on less dramatic methods, the rule highlights Connecticut's commitment to culinary integrity. So if you're in the state, make sure your pickles bounce. Or prepare for some serious dilemma with the law. Number 47. Advertising balloons might make a splash elsewhere, but in Hartford, Connecticut, they're illegal. Lawmakers likely feared these floating billboards would cause distractions or litter. While colorful inflatables can brighten up skies, Hartford prefers its advertising grounded. If you're promoting an event, stick to posters and signs, or risk having your balloon dreams deflated by city officials enforcing this sky-high regulation. Number 48. Eating in your car may be a road trip staple, but not in Bloomfield, Connecticut, where it's against the law. Whether it's to prevent spills, distractions, or just discourage drive-thrus, this rule leaves drivers scratching their heads and stomachs. If hunger strikes while you're parked in Bloomfield, step outside to snack legally, or plan ahead to avoid breaking the law over a burger and fries. Number 49. Walking backward might be a fun party trick, but in Devon, Connecticut, it's illegal after sunset. This law may have been created to prevent accidents or suspicious behavior at night. Either way, once the sun goes down, keep your steps moving forward. Whether you're heading home or taking an evening stroll, walking the right way ensures you stay safe and on the right side of the law. Number 50. In Guilford, Connecticut, holiday cheer has strict rules. Only white Christmas lights are allowed for display. The regulation may have been intended to preserve a classic and elegant aesthetic, but it also puts a damper on colorful creativity. If you're dreaming of multicolored twinkles, you'll have to leave Guilford out of your plans. Keep it classy, or keep your lights indoors to avoid festive fines. Number 51. Crossing the street on your hands might be an impressive feat, but it's illegal in Hartford, Connecticut. The law likely arose from concerns about public safety, as walking upside down isn't exactly traffic-friendly. While handstands are fun at the park, stick to using your feet when navigating crosswalks, or you might end up flipping out over a ticket for acrobatic offenses. Number 52. Connecticut takes canine education, or lack thereof, seriously. It's illegal to educate dogs, possibly to prevent unlicensed animal training or overambitious pets. While the idea of dogs attending school sounds charming, this law suggests some lessons are best left to humans. So if you're tempted to teach your pup advanced tricks, keep it casual. Algebra and Shakespeare lessons might land you in legal trouble and leave Fido more confused than ever. South now down to Delaware. Number 53. Delaware isn't horsing around when it comes to holidays. Horse racing is prohibited on Good Friday and Easter Sunday, likely out of respect for religious observances. While you can cheer on your favorite horses the rest of the year, these 2 days are off limits. Instead, spend your holiday weekends enjoying quieter traditions or giving your betting strategies a well-deserved rest. Number 54. Marriage is a serious commitment, and Delaware makes sure it's taken seriously by banning marriages made on a dare. This law might have been created to prevent impulsive decisions or pranks from turning into legal headaches. If you're planning to tie the knot, think it through. Spontaneity might work for road trips, but Delaware insists marriage deserves more careful planning. Moving west now to the District of Columbia. Number 55. In Washington, D.C., calling someone a coward for refusing to duel isn't just rude, it's illegal. This law likely stems from a time when honor duels were common, and insults could escalate quickly. Today, challenging someone to a duel is more likely to end in laughs than pistols at dawn. But the law still stands. So choose your words carefully. You never know when an old-fashioned rule might fire back at you. Number 56. Stone throwing might be a favorite childhood pastime, but in Washington, D.C., small boys are banned from doing it anytime, anywhere. This law probably arose to prevent property damage and injuries, but it paints an amusing picture of lawmakers cracking down on mischievous kids. If you're in D.C., encourage rock-free activities, skip stones at the park, or try skipping rope instead to keep the fun legal. Number 57. Giving false weather reports in the nation's capital isn't just bad forecasting, it's a crime. The U.S. government takes accuracy seriously, especially when it comes to public safety. So if you're tempted to make up a snowstorm for laughs, think again. Stick to sharing real forecasts, or you might find yourself under investigation faster than you can say partly cloudy. Florida now awaits as we venture further south. Number 58. Singing in public while wearing a swimsuit might sound like fun, but in Sarasota, Florida, it's illegal. This law could stem from modesty concerns or efforts to keep beachside gatherings under control. While it's fine to hum along quietly, save the full-blown concert for when you're dressed. Whether you're on the sand or by the pool, don't let your vocals make waves with the law. Number 59. Unmarried women in Florida, beware. Parachuting on Sundays could land you in jail. This law likely arose from outdated notions of propriety, but it's still technically on the books. If you're planning a weekend skydive, tie the knot first, or at least double-check modern interpretations of the rule. Better safe than sorry when it comes to thrill-seeking in the Sunshine State. Number 60. Rats in Tampa Bay have limited travel rights. It's illegal for them to leave docked ships. This rule may have been created to prevent the spread of disease, but enforcing it sounds tricky. Unless you're a rodent wrangler, keep your pest control efforts focused on prevention. Rats might not follow the rules, but you can at least avoid becoming an unwitting accomplice to their illegal disembarkation. Number 61. In Hialeah, Florida, aimless ambling and strolling are misdemeanors. This law might have been intended to discourage loitering, but it paints a funny image of police arresting wanderers for walking too slowly. So if you're exploring Hialeah, walk with purpose, or at least look like you're headed somewhere important to avoid an awkward chat with the authorities. Number 62. In Florida, if you leave your elephant tied to a parking meter, you'd better pay the meter fee, just as if it were a car. This law likely stems from the days of circus elephants traveling through town, and officials wanted to ensure fairness when it came to parking regulations. While elephants aren't the most common form of transportation today, the rule still applies. So if you're out with a jumbo-sized friend, don't forget your quarters. Number 63. In Florida, it's illegal not to inform your neighbor if their house is on fire. While common sense should make this obvious, lawmakers felt the need to spell it out. Whether it's to prevent damage, save lives, or just encourage neighborly responsibility, this rule makes community safety a top priority. So if you see smoke next door, act fast. Being a good Samaritan isn't just noble, it's required by law. Number 64. Fishing while driving across a bridge might sound like multitasking, but in Florida, it's illegal. This quirky rule likely aims to keep drivers focused on the road instead of casting lines into the water below. While Florida's lakes and rivers make it a fishing paradise, you'll need to park your car first. Reeling in a catch while steering? Better leave that to cartoons and stick to safer, legal hobbies. Number 65. Skateboarding without a license may seem like a rebellious act, but in Florida, it's against the law. This regulation might have been introduced to curb reckless skating and enforce safety standards. While most states focus on helmets and pads, Florida took things a step further. So if you're hitting the pavement, make sure you're rolling legally, or prepare to grind more than just rails. Number 66. Falling asleep under a hairdryer in Florida could cost more than just a bad hair day. Women, and their salon owners, can be fined if they doze off mid-dry. This law was probably introduced to prevent accidents, like fires caused by overheating dryers. Today, it's more of a humorous reminder to stay alert in the stylist's chair. So keep your eyes open and your hair fabulous. No snoozing allowed. Number 67. Florida's clumsy residents take note. It's illegal to break more than 3 dishes per day, or chip more than 4 cups or saucers. While this law may have been created to curb waste or protect businesses, it's hard to imagine enforcing it. Whether you're a restaurant worker or just accident-prone, handle your dishes carefully. Break too many, and you might find yourself cleaning up more than just shards. Back up north we move now, over to Georgia. Number 68. In Ackworth, Georgia, every citizen is required to own a rake. Known as the home of the perfect lawn, this town takes yard work seriously. Whether it's to encourage community pride or prevent messy yards, the rule ensures leaves and debris don't stand a chance. If you're moving to Ackworth, add a rake to your shopping list. It's not just a gardening tool, it's the law. Number 69. Thinking about tying your giraffe to a telephone pole or street lamp in Georgia? Think again, it's illegal. This law likely originated to protect both giraffes and city property from damage. While most residents aren't giraffe owners, the rule still applies. If you happen to have a tall, spotted friend, make sure to tether it somewhere more appropriate, preferably far away from utility poles and puzzled passersby. Number 70. Bathtubs are off limits for donkeys in Georgia. This peculiar law may have been introduced after an incident involving flooding and an unwelcome donkey rescue mission. To prevent future chaos, lawmakers banned these animals from soaking indoors. If your donkey needs a wash, stick to outdoor hoses or buckets. Georgia's bathtubs are for humans only. Number 71. Gainesville, Georgia, takes its title as the poultry capital of the world seriously. It's illegal to eat fried chicken with utensils, hands only. This fun rule celebrates the city's poultry pride and ensures that diners embrace tradition. While you probably won't get arrested for using a fork, true chicken enthusiasts know there's no better way to enjoy fried chicken than with your fingers. Number 72. Using profanity in the presence of a corpse is illegal in Georgia. This somber law likely reflects a desire to maintain respect during funerals and burials. While emotions can run high during such moments, the rule encourages mourners to keep their language clean. So if you find yourself at a graveside service, choose your words carefully. It's a matter of both respect and legality. Number 73. In Quitman, Georgia, it's illegal for chickens to cross the road. This law may have been introduced to reduce accidents or contain wandering fowl. Either way, it adds humor to the age-old joke. If you're in Quitman, keep your chickens fenced in, because even poultry can't escape traffic laws here. Number 74. In Jonesboro, Georgia, saying "oh boy" is prohibited. The origins of this law are unclear, but it likely aimed to curb casual outbursts or slang. While it's hard to imagine enforcement today, it's worth being mindful of your exclamations. If you need to express surprise, try "wow" or "goodness gracious" instead. You'll stay legal and still get your point across. Number 75. Spitting from a car or bus in Marietta, Georgia is illegal, but oddly, it's allowed from a truck. This law may have aimed to promote hygiene, but the exception for trucks leaves plenty of room for speculation. Whether you're behind the wheel of a sedan or an 18-wheeler, it's probably best to keep your spit to yourself and avoid pushing the boundaries of this bizarre rule. Taking a trip west now over to the paradise that is Hawaii. Number 76. Owning a boat in Hawaii isn't just for fun. It's practically mandatory. Residents can be fined if they don't own one, reflecting the state's deep connection to the ocean. While enforcement is rare, this rule highlights Hawaii's emphasis on maritime culture and preparedness. Whether it's for fishing, leisure, or emergencies, having a boat may not just be a hobby, it's a way of life. Number 77. Coins are forbidden in ears in Hawaii, perhaps to discourage unsafe tricks or pranks. This law likely prevents accidents involving small children or jokesters. If you're tempted to channel your inner magician and pull quarters from behind someone's ear, think twice. Stick to card tricks instead. It's safer and won't leave you facing fines. Number 78. In Honolulu's parks, annoying birds is against the law. This rule promotes respect for wildlife and preserves the peaceful atmosphere of public spaces. Whether you're tempted to chase pigeons or shout at seagulls, resist the urge. Hawaii's birds are protected, so admire them from a distance and let them enjoy paradise in peace. Number 79. Getting a tattoo in Hawaii comes with unusual rules. It's illegal to get one behind your ear or on your eyelid unless a registered physician is present. This regulation probably stems from concerns about hygiene and safety. So if you're planning an edgy tattoo placement, make sure you follow the rules, or prepare for more than just regret over your ink. Back east now, onto the mainland we land at Idaho. Number 80. In Boise, Idaho, fishing from a giraffe's back isn't just odd, it's illegal. While it's unclear whether this law was enacted to protect giraffes or prevent bizarre fishing stunts, it paints a funny mental picture. Given Idaho's lack of native giraffes, this rule seems more hypothetical than practical. If you're planning a fishing trip, stick to boats or riverbanks. Leave the giraffes at the zoo, and avoid becoming part of Idaho's strangest legal history. Number 81. In Idaho Falls, if you're 88 years old or older, riding a motorcycle is prohibited. This law may have been created out of concern for senior safety, but it feels a bit discriminatory. While younger riders can rev their engines freely, seniors are expected to keep their feet firmly on the ground. Whether it's outdated or protective, the rule is clear. Octogenarians need to find safer ways to feel the wind in their hair. Number 82. Idaho believes in grand romantic gestures, so much so that it's illegal for a man to give his sweetheart a box of candy weighing less than 50 pounds. This law may have originated to boost candy sales or emphasize generosity, but it's a lot to chew on. If you're looking to impress someone in Idaho, go big or go home, because a tiny box of chocolates just won't cut it legally or romantically. Number 83. Riding a merry-go-round on Sundays might sound innocent, but in Idaho, it's against the law. The rule may have been enacted to preserve Sunday as a day of rest, free from frivolous activities. While modern amusement parks ignore this quirky regulation, it's a reminder of stricter times. If you're craving carousel rides, plan for any day but Sunday, or risk spinning into legal trouble. Let's move over east now to Illinois. Number 84. In Illinois, bachelors can't just be Mr., they must be addressed as Master by women. This rule, likely from a time when titles mattered more, is a relic of formality. While it's not enforced today, it's a reminder of how much society has evolved. So if you're single in Illinois, don't expect anyone to call you Master, unless you're starring in a historical reenactment or a quirky comedy sketch. Number 85. According to Illinois law, speaking English is technically illegal. The official language is American, highlighting a historical push for national identity. While no one's going to arrest you for using English, this law serves as a humorous relic of linguistic pride. Whether you call it English or American, just speak clearly, and avoid getting tongue-tied over legal semantics. Number 86. In Des Plaines, Illinois, chaining wheelbarrows with for sale signs to trees is prohibited. This law may have aimed to curb visual clutter, but it's hard to imagine anyone enforcing it today. If you're looking to sell a wheelbarrow, stick to classified ads or yard sales. Otherwise, your gardening tools might land you in legal hot water. Number 87. Eureka, Illinois, has a bone to pick with mustaches. Men sporting them can't kiss women. This bizarre law may have been written in jest or as a response to hygiene concerns, but it remains on the books. So if you're rocking facial hair in Eureka, make sure your kisses are private, or risk breaking a rule that's as outdated as it is funny. Number 88. Evanston, Illinois, has a trifecta of odd bans: bowling, trick-or-treating, and changing clothes in a car, unless there's a fire. These rules may have been created to preserve decorum, but they feel wildly restrictive today. If you're in Evanston, bowl quietly, trick-or-treat cautiously, and keep outfit changes indoors, unless you enjoy testing the limits of quirky enforcement. Number 89. Slingshots are banned in Homer, Illinois, unless you're law enforcement. This law likely aimed to reduce mischief and property damage, but it leaves no room for childhood fun. While kids elsewhere can reenact scenes from David and Goliath, Homer's residents will need to find less controversial toys, or risk the long arm of the law for flinging pebbles. Number 90. Illinois strictly forbids giving lighted cigars to pets, including dogs and cats. This law highlights concern for animal welfare, even if it's an unlikely scenario. While most people wouldn't dream of offering tobacco to their pets, it's comforting to know Illinois protects furry friends from secondhand smoke and bad habits. Stick to dog treats and catnip instead. Number 91. In Chicago, taking a French poodle to the opera is illegal. Perhaps lawmakers worried about barking disrupting performances, or maybe it's just a matter of taste. While service animals are now permitted in most places, this rule still reminds us to leave pets at home during high culture outings. For dog lovers, there's always the park. No tuxedos required. Number 92. Kirkland, Illinois, takes bee traffic seriously. Bees aren't allowed to fly over streets or through town. While enforcing this rule seems impossible, it may have been designed to address swarms or safety concerns. Today, bees buzz freely, but Kirkland's odd law serves as a reminder that nature and cities don't always mix perfectly. Number 93. Eating in a burning building might sound like the least of your worries, but in Illinois, it's illegal. Whether this law aims to promote fire safety or discourage reckless behavior, it's clear. Grab your food and evacuate quickly. If you're that attached to your snack, wait until the fire's out before chowing down legally. Number 94. Kenilworth, Illinois, has strict noise regulations. Roosters must step 300 feet away from homes to crow, and hens must cackle from 200 feet back. This law might have been created to keep peace and quiet, but enforcing it sounds nearly impossible. If you're raising chickens in Kenilworth, be sure they mind their manners, or risk running afoul of the rules. Number 95. Making faces at dogs in Normal, Illinois isn't just rude, it's illegal. While the law might have been designed to prevent dog bites or misbehavior, it's one of the strangest ways to promote animal etiquette. If you're tempted to pull funny faces, save them for humans. Dogs deserve a little dignity too. Number 96. Illinois considers eavesdropping a serious offense, even on your own conversations. Recording yourself without permission could land you in prison for up to 3 years. While this law was likely meant to protect privacy, it's a legal gray area today. If you're thinking about hitting record, make sure you're doing it legally, or prepare for consequences as serious as your recording equipment. Heading further east now to Indiana. Number 97. Gossiping in Indiana isn't just bad manners, it's illegal. Laws against spiteful gossip and talking behind someone's back aim to keep communities respectful. While enforcement may be rare, it's a good reminder to spread kindness, not rumors. If you have something to say, make sure it's constructive, or keep it to yourself to stay out of trouble. Number 98. Indiana's male residents aged 18 to 50 must work 6 days a year on public roads. This law likely dates back to early infrastructure building days, but it remains on the books. While modern road crews handle maintenance now, it's a quirky reminder of how civic responsibility once meant rolling up your sleeves and grabbing a shovel. Number 99. In 1924, a monkey in South Bend, Indiana, was fined $25 for smoking a cigarette. While this incident may have been more publicity stunt than serious law enforcement, it highlights early concerns about animal welfare and perhaps public health. Today, Indiana's laws focus more on human habits, but the story remains a hilarious piece of history. Number 100. In South Bend, Indiana, it's illegal to make a monkey smoke a cigarette. This oddly specific law may have been inspired by the infamous 1924 case where a monkey was fined for smoking. Legislators likely stepped in to prevent similar incidents and protect animals from harmful habits. While most people wouldn't dream of handing tobacco to a primate, this rule ensures that monkeys stay smoke-free, and people stay out of legal trouble for giving them bad habits. Number 101. Bathing during the winter in Indiana isn't just chilly, it's illegal. This law may have originated during times when indoor plumbing was rare, and frozen pipes made bathing risky. Today, it serves as a humorous relic of earlier hygiene practices. Thankfully, modern heating systems make winter baths safe, but if you're living in Indiana, maybe double-check the water temperature, or the law, before taking a mid-January soak.